First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 40. I just want to recite those last 6 words. For there was joy in Israel.
Well,
Thank you. You may be seated.
that's good right there.
Look to your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, I made it here. By the time we find this text, David has now made it to be king of Israel. The promise that he got in Bethlehem has now turned into reality. The assignment that he got at his father's Jesse house has now come into reality. But between promise and reality, David had to go through a series of problems. Sometimes, my brothers and sisters, it would look like since God is sending me on the path, since God has assigned me the task, since God has given me the directions, it would look like that I would have promise, then promotion. But sometime between promise and promotion, you have to go through some problems. And the reason why we don't make it to promotion is not because we didn't believe in the promise, is that we could not bear all of the problems. Because if you can't bear the problems getting to there, how are you going to handle the problems once you get there? If I can't deal with what I gotta deal with while I'm passing by, how am I gonna be able to handle it when no longer can I run, but I gotta stand? In this text, David now had made it to where God told him he was going to be. But I think I ought to tell you, my brothers and sisters, that many of us always categorize David's problem with the giant and the king. We either think that he had to deal with Goliath, and after Goliath, he had to deal with Saul. But text declares, even after Saul had died, even after Saul had fell on his own sword, even after God had handled Saul, between David getting from Saul's death to the throne of Israel, he still had to deal with some more problems. Tell your neighbor, it's always some problems. If the truth be told, my brothers and sisters, every time it looks like that I'm there, look like something else comes up and hits you before you can grab a hold of it. Look like every time you get ready to shout and have a celebration, look like it's always something hindering you with another situation. Look like every time you get to the edge of getting your breakthrough, look like before you can get a breakthrough, you have another breakdown. Look like every time you get to the point to where you're getting a deliverance, before I can shout about my deliverance, look like I get right into another dilemma. Because between David getting from being the one that was running from Saul to now the one that's ruling over Israel, David had to deal with that before they got to him. They immediately appointed the son of Saul in order to be king. But I think I ought to tell you, my brothers and sisters, that just because somebody occupies a space don't mean that they're anointed for the assignment. Don't miss me right there. Let me say it one more time, that just because somebody is occupying the space, it doesn't mean that they're anointed for the assignment. Don't get frustrated because you feel like somebody is sitting in the spot where you ought to be in. Don't get irritated and don't get impatient when it feels like that somebody somebody is getting in your way from getting what God has in store for you. But I think I ought to tell you that just because they're occupying the space don't mean that they're anointed for the assignment. Because Saul's son showed that just because you occupying it, you might not be able to handle the obstacles that it comes with. But David proved that once I get the assignment, I've already built to handle the agony that comes with it. I think I ought to tell somebody that you ought to understand that with every blessing comes a burden. With every miracle comes some misery. With every joy comes a little bit of sorrow. With every testimony comes with a test. With every triumph, it comes with a little bit of tribulation. You always got to understand that just because I made it to the place does not mean I'm going to be problem free. Tell your neighbor you're going to still have some problems. You're going to still have some haters. You're going to still have some enemies. You're going to still have some people that lie on you. Even though the doctor gives you a clean bill of health from that sickness, you're still going to have some aches. You're still going to have some pain. You're still going to have some wounds that need to heal. Just because you paid off that bill, you still got light bill you got to pay. Still got water bill you got to pay. Still got gas you got to put in the car. Just because you got to deal with one thing don't mean that everything is going to get out my way. But here's my shout. If God handled everything to get me here, then God knows what to do in order to keep me here. I'm talking to at least 3 of y'all. I'll make 4 that need to understand without a shadow of a doubt that before you give up, before you throw in the towel, before you give back what God has given to you because you didn't expect it to come with all of this trouble that is attached to it, let me put a word in your spirit that if God did what it took in order to get you there, he knows what to do in order to keep you there. He had to deal with his son occupying his space. But then he had to deal with a people that was questioning his judgment.
Well,
because text teaches us that before David became king of Israel, he first had to become just king of Judah.
Yes.
For 7 years.
Yeah.
And then after 7 years, he became king of all of Israel.
That's right.
It's sometime, my brothers and sisters, you have to understand that you're not going to get it all at one time. Tell your neighbor, step by step. I know look like you ought to be farther than what you are. I know look like you ought to be more ahead than where you are right now. But I think I ought to tell you, my brothers and sisters, that sometimes that's your deadline, not God's deadline. Now, I think I need to tell somebody that you need to quit putting your deliverances on deadlines. Am I talking to somebody in here? It's because most of the time when you put your deliverances on deadlines, you become disappointed because God don't work according to your calendar. I know some of you already had it planned out last year on what you were going to be by this time this year. Some of you already had it mapped out, what you were going to conquer, what you were going to accomplish, how you were going to be sitting, and the truth be told, you got closer but you didn't get there. It's because you were going according to your calendar but not according to God's calendar. And when I'm going according to God's calendar, I may not get it when I think I ought to get it, but according to the old church, I'm always going to get it right on time. You ain't forgot about them, have you? They said it this way, you can't hurry God. You just got to wait. Trust him and give him time. No matter how long it takes, he's a God. You can't hurry. He'll be there. Don't you worry. It may not come when you want him, but he's always right on time. I got to have somebody in here beside me that can testify that I didn't get it when I think I should have got it, but when I got it, it was right right on time. You didn't get the promotion when you thought you should have had it, but when you got it, it was right on time. You didn't get the loan approval when you thought you should have got it, but when you got it, it was right on time. Right on time. Well, now text the class by the time we find him at the end of chapter 12. Text says that David had finally made it king of Israel, and they began to celebrate not for 1 hour.
Well,
Come on now.
Not for a day. But text says they celebrated for 3 days.
yes, sir, that's a celebration.
Here's the thing, my brothers and sisters. Some of our shouts ended on January 1.
Well, my Lord.
But if you really went through some stuff in 25 that knew it could have took you out, and you made it to 26, tell your neighbor, why ain't you still shout? If the hell that you went through in 25 was that big, you mean one midnight watch night service can give you all the hallelujahs that you have? Meant the truth be told, my brothers and sisters, I went through enough hell in 25 that really I don't know if I got enough year to get all my hallelujahs out, because of the simple fact is I ought to still be shouting. But the simple fact is that I shouldn't have made it, but I made it here. I got to have at least 5 of y'all. I make sense that ought to be able to testify that you've had some stuff in your life that hit your rocky foundation, that rock your whole world. You should be by now putting shoes on your back and clothes on your feet. You should have been lost your mind. But the only reason you made it here was because God allowed you to make it through it. I got to have somebody in the crowd with me that can just thank God for the simple fact, regardless of what I've been through, I'm here now. Tell your neighbor, I'm here now. Tried to hold me, tried to keep me, tried to stop me, tried to tear me down, tried to look over me, tried to forget me, tried to underestimate me. But I'm here now, and since I made it here, I might as well celebrate the fact that I made it. Question on if he was qualified, if he was able to be king.
My Lord.
But here's the thing, you don't find David speaking for himself.
Right.
You don't find David bragging on himself. But when the men that questioned it thought about it, knew that David had shown enough evidence that he deserves to be where he is. Can I have somebody right there?
Go ahead.
That once God allow you to arrive at the place he promised you, you don't have a responsibility to prove it to anybody that you deserve to be there.
Absolutely.
I think sometimes we mess up because we spend too much time when we make it to where we're supposed to be at. We spend too much time proving that we made it there instead of living while we're there.
Right.
Tell your neighbor, I ain't got nothing to prove.
That's fact.
I don't care. I don't care what anybody else look like.
Right.
I don't care what shape what anybody else got. I don't care how much hair somebody else bought. I don't care what they may look like in their dress. You ain't got to prove that you deserve to be the woman that's by his side. It's because you ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. I don't care how good they look. I don't care how much taller they are than you. I don't care how much in shape more they got than you have. I don't care how many more muscles they got than you. I don't care how much more money they making than you. You just go to the house and enjoy the wife that God gave you. It's because you ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. I ain't got to keep up with nobody. I ain't got to worry about what kind of car I drive. I ain't got to worry about what size house I live in. I ain't got to worry about what name brand ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. You got the job now. They gave you the title now. You got the promotion now. You ain't gotta spend time proving nothing to nobody that you deserve to be there. You just keep working where God has placed you in. Too many times you spend a life trying to prove instead of spending a life trying to live. Celebrated. Celebrated for 3 days. But what did he have so much to celebrate for? The 3 things I need to tell you in the text that there was joy in Israel.
Yeah.
But first of all, because he had survived the struggles of his past.
Yeah.
My brothers and sisters, too many times when we get out of our past, we have wounds instead of wisdom.
My Lord.
Let me say it again.
That's good
Too
right
many
there.
times when we come out of the struggle, we end up with wounds instead of wisdom.
Yeah.
It's because God let you go through what you went through in order to train you for what he got in store for you. And when you walk in with wounds, you don't walk in with blessings, you walk in with barriers.
Yes.
Because you start saying to yourself, but I ain't gonna never let it happen
Yeah.
ever again. You ain't gonna never let close to me ever again. But I ain't gonna do ever again. And when you get too many barriers, you don't look blessed, you look bitter. Let me talk to somebody in here right now. That's really a lot of reason why a lot of people don't come to church right now. It's because every time they see you and you supposed to be on the Lord's side, you supposed to be a representative of the church, you don't look blessed, you look bitter. It's because everybody have a bad day. Everybody have a rough moment. Everybody have something that really don't make them smile. But I shouldn't see you with a frown all the time. I shouldn't see you, hear you with a complaint all the time. You should always have something negative to say. You ought to have some joy every now and then in your life. If you really got God on your side, if God is really with you, you got to understand that I'm a representation and a reflection of how good God really is. And sometimes, my brothers and sisters, you ought to look like the God that got you there. In other words, I've been through some stuff, but I got joy. Hold on a minute, brother. I've been through some ups and downs, but I got joy. I've had my share of heartaches and pain, but I got joy. Tell your neighbor, I still got joy. I don't have wounds. Because here's the thing, Pastor McGill. What wounds mean I'm still healing.
Well.
Wisdom means I'm healed, but I'm better.
Better.
Yes, sir.
If you're still healing, then that means you ain't ready.
Right. That's the truth right there.
It might be why you ain't made it there.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
That might be why you hadn't got to
That's
your
right.
destiny yet.
Yeah.
That might be why you hadn't made your arrival to your promise yet.
Right.
It is because you ain't ready
Still
yet.
bleeding, my Lord.
And the reason why you ain't ready is because you still healing.
Fix it.
The worst thing a person can do is jump out of one bad relationship and jump right into another relationship.
Yeah.
It's because whatever the joker did in the past,
Yes.
you're going to hold it against the person that's in the present.
My Lord.
It's because you ain't healed yet. And because he hadn't done nothing to you, but he walked in with a Ralph Lauren navy blue shirt. And that joker that treated you so wrong, his favorite shirt to wear all the time was a navy blue Ralph Lauren shirt. So as soon as you saw the shirt on the next fella, you automatically put your barriers up. It's because I ain't gonna let you do what the last one did to me. And you didn't base it on his character, you just based it on the color of a shirt. And it's really because you ain't healed yet. I got to be talking to somebody in here that'll be open and honest with me that there were times you moved too quick. There were times you jumped in too soon. It's because you didn't let the wounds heal. Because once the wounds heal, it leaves from my flesh and get in my spirit. And once it gets in my spirit, it's no longer wounds, it's wisdom. Because now I know how to avoid it. Now I know how to handle it. I got to be talking to somebody in here that ought to be able to testify that you've been through enough stuff that you know how to handle it. Tell your neighbor, I know how to handle it. You know how to handle lies. You know how to handle enemies. You know how to handle fake folk. You know how to handle overdue bill. You know how to handle pain in your body. You know how to handle tears in your eye. You know how to handle death and funeral. It's because now you ain't got wounds, I got wisdom.
Glory.
Here's the thing.
Let's hear
Here's the
Lord.
thing. Some stuff in your past you called mess. It really wasn't mess, it was molding.
Well,
Some stuff in your past
yeah.
that you called problems, it really wasn't problems, it was preparation.
Well,
Let me try to tell you that David, from the beginning at his daddy's house, knew how to fight.
right, right.
But when he had to deal with Saul, it's not that he learned how to fight, but the wounds gave him wisdom to know when to fight.
Win. That's good.
Sometimes it's not that you don't know how to fight,
Right.
it's that you ain't learned enough lessons to know when to fight. Because sometimes it ain't your fight. Am I talking to somebody in here right now? Because if I'm swinging, sometimes I'm in God's way. If I'm talking, sometimes I'm in God's way. David figured out that even